Hello everyone. As usual, I'm a little bit late in getting this episode out, but I'm finally settled in Portugal now and hopefully can get on a regular routine again. And want you to know I've started a new YouTube channel called Everyday Expats, in which I'm going to chronicle my everyday experiences here in Portugal. So I put a link to that channel in the description below, and I hope you'll check it out. I also hope you'll like it and subscribe, but that's, of course, up to you. In this episode, I'm going to talk about a top secret U.S. Post Office Department project. One reason I wanted to get this episode out at least a few days earlier is that on February 20th, just a few days ago, was the 62nd anniversary of the 1962 Mercury mission, which sent the first astronaut in orbit around the Earth, John Glenn. And on that same day, the U.S. Post Office revealed the product of a project that they had been keeping under military-grade secrecy. The Post Office's official statement read, "The U.S. Post Office Department signaled the first orbital flight of a U.S. astronaut today with the issuance of a commemorative stamp placed on sale throughout the country on the exact hour that astronaut John Glenn's historic flight was officially completed. It is the first time in history that a previously unannounced commemorative stamp was issued simultaneously with the event it memorializes." And as far as best kept secrets goes, this one ranks right up there near the top, as it took the media and the public completely by surprise. Well, I don't want to say completely, but it was kind of a close call. About 2 months earlier, in the December 1961 edition of First Days, which is the Society magazine of the American First Day Cover Society, they published a rumor of a secret stamp that was being produced by the post office. However, the post office was able to successfully quash the rumor, and nothing more was heard about it until the date of release. It's even more remarkable considering that about 400 people knew about this secret project. About half of those were U.S. postal inspectors who held the combinations to the locks that were securing the bags in which the stamps were being kept. And they were ordered not to open the bags until they were notified to. Even the postmasters themselves of the 305 post offices in which the first day stamps were sold were not notified about these stamps. And in fact, when the mail bags did arrive at those post offices, they were addressed to the postal inspectors and not the postmasters. Now, the stamps reached all of the post office by December 21st, 1961. However, the launch date for the mission was rescheduled 11 times due to weather conditions. That's why it eventually went up in February 20th. Now, 200 other people who knew of this secret project were, officials of the post office or employees of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, where the stamp was produced. And they were all sworn to secrecy. The artist of the stamp, Charles Chickering, he explained to his co-workers that he was going out on vacation, and then he actually worked in secret at home on the art. And then there were 2 engravers on the stamp, the one for the design itself and another engraver for the lettering. Richard Bauer, who engraved the image, also let it be known that he was going on vacation, but then he came in the evenings after hours to work on the engraving. And the other engraver, Howard Sharpless, who worked on the lettering, he came in on weekends to do his part. Now, even the new Giori press, which had just gone into service shortly before that, it was locked away in a room with a security guard guarding entry to it. Their cover story, for anyone who was wondering why this press was being locked away, was that they were testing some new colored currency, dollar bills, for the U.S. Now you may wonder, why was there such secrecy around this project? It wasn't that they were, trying to surprise the media or the public. It was more a matter of caution and decorum. You got to remember, at the time the project was started, the U.S. hadn't even sent its first man into space, much less put one into orbit. In May of 1961, Alan Shepard made the first suborbital flight, and this early model for the stamp, with artwork showing the capsule returning to Earth, was completed on July 19, 1961, only days before the U.S.'s second suborbital flight by Gus Grissom. And well aware of the risks involved in John Glenn's mission, the post office wanted to avoid any publicity about an upcoming issue that had the potential to be marred by tragedy. However, all went well, and on February 20th at 2:43 p.m. Eastern Time, John Glenn's Mercury capsule splashed down in the Atlantic Ocean, marking the successful completion of the mission. And at 3:30 p.m., the U.S. Post Office made telephone calls, sent out teletype and telegraph messages to all 305 post offices to open up the bags and start selling the stamps. The official first day site was Cape Canaveral, Florida, which you will find on some stamp boards, some collectors saying, well, that can't be because Cape Canaveral did not have a post office until sometime later. Well, the fact is, the U.S. Air Force brought a truck to Cape Canaveral and set up a temporary post office. And at 3:30 p.m. they opened for business as a substation of the Cocoa, Florida post office. Now, there were 305 post offices around the country that had been given initial stocks to sell on the first day of issue. And as soon as the post office made the announcement, people started lining up at their post offices to, get their stamps and first day covers canceled. However, with the starting time of 3:30 p.m. for the time that the stamps went on sale, that left people on the East Coast at a disadvantage, having only, an hour or two before their post offices closed. So, not everybody heard it at exactly 3:30, so, you can imagine how few people might have gotten to the post office on time. Now, who knows how many post offices decided to, stay open beyond normal closing hours, kind of like what they do for tax returns. Now, not long after that, as stamp collectors found out about, there being 305 first day cities or first day post offices, it became popular to collect as many first day cities as you could on first day covers. Now, there could be more or less than 305 first day cities in existence, because there are people who went to, say, an official authorized first day post office, bought their stamps there, but then came home to their wherever they lived in an adjacent city, and maybe prepared their covers at home and then went to their local post office and had them canceled. Also, you can find some ship cancellations with first day cancels. Now, these are all suspect, in fact, if not outright fraud, because none of the ships that were on the recovery duty for the Mercury project, which were the USS Noah, the USS Randolph, and the USS Enterprise, none of these had supplies of stamps or covers to be able to service them right away. And in fact, the postal clerk on the USS Noah has admitted that he backdated over 300 covers with first day cancellations. Another thing which muddles the picture on how many first day cities there may be existing is that not all of the 305 official First Day cities have been found on First Day covers. There are about 17 right now in which 17 cities which have not been found. For example, there are a couple of post offices in Ohio, Marion and Mansfield, which did not open on February 20th because of a severe snowstorm. So you won't find First Day cancels for them. Also, the Warren, Pennsylvania post office did not open their bags with the Mercury stamps until after their customer counter had closed for the day. Way to go, Warren, Pennsylvania. So like I said, there are still about 17 post offices still looking to be found. In the description below, I've left a link to a post on my forum, the TED Talk Stamps discussion board, where I will include an attachment of a text file, a Word document that lists all 305 First Day cities and notes which ones have not been found yet. So I hope to see you over there, and we can talk some more about this issue or talk about anything else. That's what the forum is for. I've got a few very active people on the board and still looking for more. So thanks for joining me today, and until next time, this is Ted the Talking Stamp Collector wishing you all happy stamping.